Hi, and welcome to our virtual event of Take Back the Night. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and usually we gather together with our friends and with supporters of this event, and we have tables set up with our allies who are there to share their information, share support. We usually listen to singers, speakers, talk about their stories, talk about how they've supported one another. And this year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are unable to do that. So to the best of our ability, we're going to bring you tonight's Take Back the Night through a virtual experience. And we ask you to take to social media with the hashtags of SAM, S-A-A-M, all capitals for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, hashtag teal, hashtag I ask, because we're talking about consent. And just in general, sit back and enjoy what we have to present. I apologize in advance for any technical difficulties we might have, but we're going to do the best we can do, and we're going to share some very vital information and statistics with you tonight. And let's take back the night. Thank you.
According to RAINN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, every 73 seconds someone in America is sexually assaulted. Every 9 minutes, that victim is a child. Meanwhile, only 5 out of every 1,000 perpetrators will end up in prison. Take Back the Night is the earliest worldwide movement to take a stand against sexual violence, to empower and support victims and survivors of this horrific crime. Your voice has power, the power to change a culture to one without violence and abuse. Typically, we would gather as a large group in our community, listening to speakers, singers, and writers reciting their poetry. But today we are not able to do that, missing our allies who would join us with their tables of information. But we can still show support as we remember and honor victims and survivors of violence and abuse. Take Back the Night events have been held in over 36 countries in over 800 communities, with more taking a stand every year. Take Back the Night events have reached over 30 million people with the message of strength and support and the commitment to end sexual violence.
I feel like there's so much that we're missing out on by not being able to gather together and enjoy the great outdoors and see each other's faces face to face. But there's one thing that I'm certain that we're not missing out on, and that's the importance of this event and the information that we're sharing tonight. So I'd like to take some time and have you meet the CEO of Transitions, Susan Mathias.
Hello and welcome. I'm Susan Mathias, CEO of Transitions. And we thought it'd be a good idea at the time of this terrible pandemic to go ahead and try to do a virtual Take Back the Night. And we hope you enjoy it. 45 years ago, Transitions was formed by a group of women around a kitchen table in Sunbury. They were really concerned about the lack of services for domestic violence and sexual assault victims, and were speaking up about it. Transitions is proud of its long service as a victim services center serving domestic violence and sexual assault victims and human trafficking victims. 20 years after Transitions began, Take Back the Night events began, and they've been held on college campuses throughout the country. At these events, students tell their stories about what happened to them when they were sexually assaulted or raped. Students speak out because they're upset by the continued alarming incidents of sexual assault on college campuses. 20 years have passed since the beginning of Take Back the Night events, and sadly, the numbers have not changed. Most rape and sexual assault happens to women. Nearly 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 in the men in the US have been raped, and most of these rapes occurred before the age of 25. Alarming incidents of this sexual assault and the fact that offenders are rarely held accountable has led us today to the Me Too movement, which has shed new light on how pervasive sexual assault and rape is in America. Thanks for joining us. We must continue to speak out and let victims know they are not alone. Together we say, we can end domestic violence and sexual assault. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Control Center, aka my home office. Has been since March 16th, when many of us started to work from home or work from remote locations. We are still in business. We are still providing services. We want people to know that we are still here taking phone calls on our hotline number, which is 1-800-850-7948. We want you to know that we are still able to provide all the services that we did before this pandemic started. So please take note of the fact that we are still here and still working on behalf of victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and all other serious crimes. Now I'd like to introduce our outreach coordinator, Lisa Ero. She has a few words to say about our agency, our services, Take Back the Night, and Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Thank you for joining us tonight for our virtual Take Back the Night event. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, or SAM, S-A-A-M for short. And with the stay-at-home order in place for a little over a month now, we've had to get really creative with our events. We want you all to know that we are here for you. Transitions of PA continues to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even during this global pandemic. It is our goal to connect with and empower survivors of sexual assault and other forms of intimate partner violence. Events such as this are always meant to shine a light into the darkness that is created when someone chooses to sexually assault another. We want all survivors to know that they can do more than just survive what has happened to them. They can thrive and reach out to help others who've had similar experiences. Please know that you have a voice. You are seen and you are heard, and we support you. Thanks. Have a great evening.
Because the silence is deafening.
Because even the youngest voice needs to be heard.
Because I'm here to help for the journey of recovery.
Because your voice matters. You are not alone.
Because rape culture is a very real thing, and it's going to take all of us to dismantle it.
Because I am a survivor who's thriving.
Because domestic violence and sexual assault can be difficult things to talk about, but talk about them anyways.
Because you're not alone.
Because it's not your fault, and your voice is power.
Because it doesn't matter the clothes that I'm wearing.
Because we listen.
Thank you to our intern Candace for allowing us to share her senior project video for Sexual Assault Awareness Month to support Transition's mission.
We're hearing from quite a few people, and even this virtual event is bringing out everyone who wants to share some information. And that didn't stop PCAR, one of our funders, who is the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Rape, from asking several of the prevention educators across the state to put together some of their thoughts and send a message statewide from many of the agencies that are still operating 100% to provide services to victims and survivors.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. a time for us to come together as a community. Prevention educators across Pennsylvania wanted to share this message to remind you that we're still here and available to help.
Our centers throughout Pennsylvania are continuing to offer services to you and your loved ones. It may look a little different right now, but we want you to know that we are still here for you.
We know right now is really tough. Many of us are struggling emotionally and financially. We miss our friends, our family, and our normal lives.
Some really important events got canceled, and we'll miss seeing you there.
But we know it's for the best. Our health and safety is what's most important right now.
Just because we're social distancing doesn't mean we have to stop being connected.
Here to help our community and the people we love and care about. So we put together some tips for you to get through this difficult time and build a better tomorrow for you and your loved ones.
Go outside. The clouds are beautiful, the flowers are blooming, and the wind is blowing.
Just being outside and looking at trees can help you feel better.
Pick up the phone and call a friend, or learn something new. You know, you could even learn about consent together.
Try to remember to drink 8 glasses of water each day.
Be sure to stretch and move your body. Maybe even check out a trauma-informed yoga routine or mindfulness practice.
Do something that makes you feel good.
Get captivated by a good story.
Take time to eat and treat yourself kindly.
And do something that makes you happy.
It's easy to get caught up in what you're missing, so practice gratitude. Make a list of 3 things you're grateful for and put it in a place you pass often.
Remember, taking care of ourselves isn't selfish. It's healthy. So do what you enjoy and do your part.
And just because we are home doesn't mean we can't learn and teach.
Victim service agencies across Pennsylvania are open. Check out pcar.org to find your local center.
We're still hosting free trainings and providing resources to people of all ages.
We'd love to connect with you online. Please make sure to follow us on social media for updates.
We want you to know that you still have people out there who care about you and our communities.
Remember that you're not alone. We'll get through this together.
And if you need someone to talk to, you can give us a call anytime, 24/7.
You can continue to support your community by staying home. Please be careful and stay safe.
We are soon going to be coming to a close for our virtual Take Back the Night event. And I hope you were able to really get a good view of what it is that we do and what message we're trying to convey through this. Normally, we would close our event with a candlelight vigil and a walk around the community to just bring education and awareness to sexual assault and make sure that we're not causing the problem, but we're part of the solution. So what I'd like to do is close out our evening with a survivor who shared her story through the RAIN network. And we're going to hear a little bit, just briefly, of her experience and how she's moving forward through all this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to close out with a virtual walk. And what you can do is you can walk along with the footsteps that you see on the screen, or you can simply choose to just log out of the event. So I want to thank you very much for sharing part of our evening tonight, being with us as we were able to present our information and pulled off without too many glitches, I think. So if you have any comments, questions, please feel free to post. Please feel free to reach out to our agency and an advocate will get back to you or answer the phone if you call the hotline. So I want to thank you again for sharing our night with us tonight and helping us to take back the night. Thank you and have a great evening.
I remember knowing in my head somehow you had to scream no or yell stop at least 3 times. And because I didn't do that, I thought, well, now I can't say that this was sexual assault. He was a student athlete, so I never officially reported it. And I knew that if I did, that it would just be an uphill fight. I was losing control of my body and of my thoughts. And so, you know, it had gotten to this point of desperation, that kind of painful memory and something that your body has gone through. If the more you hold it in, the more it poisons you. With RAINN, it's about healing that and making a safe space. You're not broken, that the part of you that wants to heal is stronger than the part of you that's broken. Yes, I survived this and I'm okay.
Transitions is a crisis center that provides advocacy, empowerment, and education to victims, survivors, families, and communities to end patterns of violence and abuse. Proudly serving Union, Snyder, and Northumberland counties. If you or someone you know is in need of any of our services, please call our toll-free hotline at 1-800-850-7948. Or for more information, our website is www.transitionsofpa.org, or you can look us up on Facebook at Transitions of PA. Thank you.
I'm Heather Schneider, and it's been a pleasure spending the evening with you. Now let's take a walk.